And what we're going to do this evening is just kind of do an Ask Me Anything. For the next hour, just have an open dialogue where we talk about issues and topics around the university. So, what we want this to be is kind of a very open and fluid discussion throughout the program. If you have any questions, comments, or anything whatsoever, feel free to talk to the guy back there. His name's Brian Bumgardner. He'll be walking around with a microphone. Also, you can listen live on U92, and you can tweet us questions with the hashtag WVUAMA. So, with that, President Gee, I really would like to thank you first off for being here.
So, if I were students, I would be out on the plaza, I would be out throwing frisbee, I would be doing anything but hanging around with me. As a matter of fact, maybe that's what we ought to all do is go out ourselves. How does that sound, huh? Anyway, thanks for coming, and I'm glad to do this. We had this scheduled when it was in the middle of a snowstorm. We would have done it, but we canceled school that day. So fortunately, we don't have a snowstorm today.
Yeah, we've gone from a complete blizzard to now some of the prettiest weather all spring.
It's beautiful, as a matter of fact. That's great. So anyway, I'm glad to be here. Let me think. What is it? April 1st. So I'm finishing my January, February, March. So I finished 3 months here, and the university is still alive and well, as a matter of fact. I hope, at least. So, what questions can I answer? Are you going to ask me questions?
We've got a couple that we've already pulled off Twitter and Reddit.
Okay, good.
I've got the second most common question that's been asked online so far is everybody wants to know about the story behind the bow tie and your selection of vast quantities of bow ties.
Well, I have over 1,000. Whoa! I have over 1,000 active ones. I have another 1,000 inactive, and they've been made into quilts. So I have these, the best West Virginia tradition. I have quilts made of bow ties. So I'm gonna bring some of them here and show them to people. I was 15 years of age. I was in an ophthalmologist's office in Salt Lake City. This guy came in and had one of these bow ties on. I'd never seen one from a very small town. This guy had one of these bow ties on, and I said, "What is that?" And he showed me what it was, and so I said, well, I want one of those, and so I persuaded my dad to get me one, and I loved it, and I learned how to tie it, and so ever since then, and so over the years, I've just accumulated a lot of, obviously being in so many different universities, I have every university color you can possibly imagine, or variation on it, and now I've got a great blue and gold collection.
Have you ever learned another way to tie a bow tie beyond just the standard bow?
Now that's a good question. I'm stumped. I didn't know that there's another way to tie it. Maybe I tie it backwards. I have no idea. But no, I'm doing pretty well with the one that I've got.
Another common question that we've been getting a lot is, for you, since this is your second time at the university, what has been the biggest difference between 1985 when you left and now 2013?
That's a pretty easy question to answer. The university's grown and morphed, and it plays on the world stage. It's a much different institution qualitatively, and West Virginia's always been a very good institution, but it now plays in a different ball game. It plays internationally very well. I mean, we've got a Saudi student right here who plays. It's a major research university. It's also a land-grant institution. It also has a much more powerful role to play in the state, and also a much more powerful role to play nationally. So, just the structure has changed. There are new buildings and facilities have been upgraded, a variety of other things. The one thing that hasn't changed is the traffic is awful in Morgantown. It just is. It's a real challenge in terms of some of our traffic issues, I think.
Is there anything you miss of the university or Morgantown circa 1985, whether it be a restaurant?
Oh, I miss Chico's. You don't even know what Chico's is. Chico's was a great ice cream place when I was here the first time. Does anyone remember Chico's? Yeah, right? Yeah, they had the best ice cream, and I'd go down there, and my daughter was 3 or 4, and we'd go down there and get ice cream cones. That was our favorite thing to do as a parlay. It was down on, what is the name of this? It was down along the river.
Features.
Yeah, right, it was down along the river, and it was a great place, and Mr. Chico, Sam Chico, was the owner, and just a wonderful man.
That's very cool. So you spoke earlier about traffic issues and how some things never seem to change. The most common question we've been getting on Reddit has been, as a president, do you have any goals or plans to address traffic both here at the university and in Morgantown?
You know, it's interesting because you and I have talked about that. I think it's an issue that we have to work very closely with the city. I think it is an issue. I think that it's also an issue of how we further improve mass transit. As you know, as a member of the university's board, we're going to issue a $50 million bond issue to upgrade our PRT. Frankly, you know, our PRT, without our PRT, we would have a substantial challenge in terms of our traffic issues. So improve mass transit. Obviously, take a look at how we can improve traffic patterns. Take a look at how we can get people to come in without necessarily using one car for one person, or variety of other things like that. You know, Morgantown is a city that is built on hills, and so you just can't automatically say, well, we're going to clear out all the pathways. I think we can try to improve the traffic patterning, though. This is one of the things that you talked about. In fact, I think you've got some of your student colleagues working on significant ways to think about improving traffic around the university, and that's one of the things I'm anxious to have that briefing.